Okay, good morning or good afternoon, whatever time it is when you're looking at this. Welcome to the virtual convention. A little bit different this year, but due to COVID, obviously safety is in mind. So welcome to a virtual convention. My name is Mike Pickles, and today I'll be talking to you about the importance of a balanced lifestyle, specifically that health is wealth. So the importance of a balanced lifestyle and health is wealth. So welcome. I am an educator over 25 years. I'm also a published author of 4 books. I'm a podcaster with the Daily Did podcast with Mike Pickles, as well as a speaker, as you can see here today. So I'm very pleased to be here today. Thank you for the invite, and I hope you get lots from this. So let's jump right into it. I hope you have a pen or a piece of paper. You can jot down some ideas, jot down some notes. I don't know if you have access to this video after. If you do, you have my permission to use it. I hope you gain from this. I hope it makes you think. I hope it makes you sort of get a little bit out of your comfort zone, because I feel that when we get out of our comfort zone, that's when we actually learn. So I hope this moves you, makes you think, makes you a little uncomfortable, and then you can actually take some action so that your life and the people around you's lives are better. All right, so let's get started. Today I'm going to talk about the wellness wheel, because I believe that life is cyclical. It's in a circle, okay? We repeat things as human beings. We're creatures of habit. So I'm going to talk about the wellness wheel. Now, first, before I begin, I want to ask you a very important question. And I'm going to wait a few seconds, and I'm going to actually have you think before I tell you. Here it is. What is wellness? When you hear the word wellness, or when you see the word wellness, what does it mean to you? What pictures, what images, what words, what sounds, what comes to mind when I say wellness? So what is wellness? Let me give you 5 seconds to think about it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When I think about wellness, I think about the circle, the yin yang, okay? The hot, the cold, the warm, the hot, the cold, the day, the night, the white, the black, the male, the female, etc. Sort of polar opposites. But we need both to function, okay? So to me, wellness is an overall sense or an overall state of health, okay? Overall. Now, I know 365 days a year we are not healthy, we are not well 100%, but I'm saying overall you have a state of health. And that is in balance. That's the key here, in balance. That your life, your wealth, your wellness is in balance, all right? So let's say you have a fun, fulfilling, healthy life. That's great, and I hope you do. I wish that for everybody. But is it in balance? And by that I mean you might be having lots of fun, partying all the time, coming home at 4 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you're having all kinds of fun, spending loads of money, putting it on your credit card. Lots of fun, but is it in balance? Maybe now you're in debt. You owe lots of money. You're not getting proper sleep. You're not eating properly. You're late for work. So one is 100%. The other one is lacking. So you're out of balance. Both need to be in balance. So when I say wellness, I am talking about an overall state of health, and it's in balance. So my question to you, and I want you to write this down because it is very important. Are you living a life of wellness? Are you living a life of balance? Write that question down. Are you living a life of wellness, and are you living a life of balance? Be honest. Nobody has to look. Write it down. Yes or no. And you don't have to give any explanation right now. We're going to go through that later of what it looks like exactly. So question, answer honestly. Are you living a life of balance? And are you living a life of wellness? So the wellness wheel today that I'm going to talk about, there's 5 parts for me. You might have 6, you might have 7, you might have 3. I have 5, okay? So in my wellness wheel today, I'm going to talk about how you can help improve your own life. My wellness wheel composes of physical wellness, mental wellness, social wellness, lifestyle wellness, and spiritual wellness. So physical, mental, social, lifestyle, and spiritual wellness. I'm going to talk about that today. And by the way, number 1 doesn't mean that it's more important than number 5. It's just you have to start somewhere and you have to end somewhere. But they're not in any order of importance. But because it seems to be the most common when you talk about wellness, I'm going to start by talking about physical wellness. So what is physical wellness? Physical wellness is a level of fitness, a fitness level that you have. Nutrition, how you eat, what you eat. Your appearance, as well as that you're illness-free. Okay? That's physical wellness. Physical level, your fitness level, sorry. So your fitness level, how fit are you? How in shape are you? And I don't mean that you have to be a bodybuilder or a weightlifter to be fit. That's not what I'm saying. Because there are people out there that don't look like athletes, but they are fit. Okay? So what's your fitness level? Also, nutrition. What you eat is very important. People that exercise know that about 80% of change, physical change, is based on eating habits, what you eat. If you're eating junk and you're still going to the gym 7 days a week, you might get some moderate changes, but you're not going to get the full benefits because you're not eating properly. We have to eat healthy. Just like a car, if you put good gas, good oil, you maintain your vehicle, that car, that truck's going to run and serve you a very long time. As opposed to if you don't, you're not putting good gasoline in it, you're not putting good oil in it, you're not maintaining that vehicle, it's not going to run very smoothly. We all know that. Same thing with the body. We have to eat proper food, stuff that's good for us, okay? Also appearance. You look good, you feel good. You feel good, you look good. It's a circle. It goes hand in hand. And the next one for physical wellness is that you're illness-free, or at least most of the time. If you're sick all the time, that's not good. If you're sick once in a while, that's okay. If you get sick once in a while, but you recover, you bounce back quickly, that's really good. So I'm talking about your physical wellness, okay? Now, when you do daily tasks around the house or at work, you should not be worn down. You should not be tired. You should not be exhausted. And if you are tired, you should be able to recover quickly. So that's what physical wellness is. You can do daily tasks at home or at work, wherever you are, and it doesn't burn you out. You could just do it. Or if you do get a little bit tired, you recover quickly. Having said that, the National Institute of Health, they say that the average resting heart rate of an adult, like you and I, is between 60 and 100 beats per minute. 60 and 100 beats per minute. Now, the more of an athlete or the more physical that you are, wellness, your heart rate will be lower. Okay? And then the opposite. So, an activity that I like to do with my students, and you should try this as well, we don't have time to do it right now, but please do this later on at home, is take your heart rate, your resting heart rate. So you can do it like this, you can do it like this, you can do it with a phone, you know how to do it. You can take it for 60 seconds, you can take it for 30 seconds, multiply by 2, it's up to you. But you take your heart rate. Now, let's just say mine is 80. All right? So I take my heart rate, resting heart rate, and it's 80. I write it down, 80. Now, I do some exercise. Jumping jacks, jogging on the spot, some push-ups, whatever it is. Just to get your heart rate going for about, 2-3 minutes. Then I take my heart rate again. Let's say now it's 120. Then I calm down, I settle down, I sit down. I try to return back to my resting heart rate after I exercised. I take it again. Let's say it's 85. All right? So my resting heart rate was 80. I did some exercise. It went to 120. I calmed down. It went back to 85. So I went from 80, 120 to 85. I basically went back to my same resting heart rate of 80. If you can do the same, then you're pretty much physically well. If you can't, if you went from 80 to 120 or 140, 150 even, and then back, let's say you went from 80 to 140 to 120, you didn't go back down to the 80. So that could mean several things. It could mean that you're physically not well, you're not as in shape, as good a shape as you could be or should be, or it could be that you're on some medication. I don't know, and that'll change things as well. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, but I do know that if you're physically well, your heart rate will go back to the resting heart rate quite quickly after you exercise. So try that. That's just an example. I mean, you'd have to do that several times to get the average, but if you did it once, it'll at least give you an idea, an indication. So that is physical wellness. Are you physically fit? And I don't mean just looking at yourself in the mirror. Are you really physically fit? And if you're not, change it. Start by walking with your dog, with your friend. Start by jogging. Go to the gym. Play tennis, skate, volleyball, hockey, whatever it is that you like to do more of it. And by the way, don't join a gym if you hate gyms. Why do I say that? Because you're going to spend money and you're just going to quit. Find an activity, find an exercise that you enjoy, because then you're more apt to stick it through, to stay with it. You'll enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you'll do more of it. Okay? So that's physical wellness. Number 2, mental wellness. What about your mental wellness? What about our mental wellness? Now, mental wellness used to be something that was taboo. People wouldn't talk about it. You weren't allowed to talk about it. Luckily, thankfully, fortunately, we talk about it a lot more today in society and our schools, etc. People like Robin Williams, superstars that were funny, actors, comedians, highly depressed, committed suicide. Who would have thought? So someone like that definitely brought this to light. He's not the only one. There are many more. Mental illness is a thing. We have to talk about it. We can't put it in the dark anymore. It's a huge thing. So what is mental wellness, mental well-being? Well, you need to be, I need to be, we need to be comfortable with ourselves, like ourselves, self-esteem, self-confidence, number 1. So we need to be comfortable with ourselves. We need to be comfortable around other people. And we need to be comfortable with our surroundings. So that's mental well-being. We're comfortable in our own skin and we're comfortable around other people. Now, we all know that days that we're not comfortable, we're having a bad day, our mental wellness and our mental well-being is off, and it can happen. It has happened to me. I'm far from perfect, friends. We have to develop, we have to find, we have to implement healthy coping skills to deal with those days, to deal with those dark days, especially now in the winter. I live in Yellowknife. I'm in the north. It gets dark early. It gets dark, well, I go to work, it's dark. I come home from work, it's dark. It's always dark. And if you're not getting your vitamin D, it can be pretty depressing. So, what do? We need to develop healthy coping skills, not negative. For example, if you're dealing with mental wellness or your mental unwellness by drinking, drugs, fighting, arguing, domestic violence, isolation, those types of things, they're coping skills. They're coping skills, all right, but they're negative coping skills. They're going to make your life worse, not better. So you have to find positive coping skills to deal with this mental unwellness, such as eating better, sleeping, exercising, talking with friends, dealing with your issues, writing down in a journal, talking about it, getting a counselor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, medication if needed, but you're dealing with it in a proper way, a positive way. Now, folks, this is no joke. One's mental health, a person's mental wellness can be tragic if it's not monitored, if it's not addressed, if it's not dealt with properly. It doesn't just go away. It will not go away. If anything, it'll amplify and it'll get worse. You have to deal with it. Suicide, depression, anxiety, all those things you don't want happening to you on a large scale, you have to deal with it. Now, an exercise that I do with my students, and you guys can try the same thing, is I do partner talk. So I put 2 people together, and why we do this is we have a lot of self-talk. We talk in our heads all the time. No, it doesn't mean we're crazy. We just do it. And there's a thing called self-fulfilling prophecy. If you talk enough in your head about negative things, then negative things start to happen to you. If you talk in your head all the time about positive things, then positive things tend to happen and appear in your life. That's called self-fulfilling prophecy. That's mindset, mental wellness. So I do an activity with my students called partner talk. You have two people. One is standing here and one is standing here, and they're looking at each other. This person talks. This person just watches and observes the other person. They don't talk at all. They just watch and observe. This person here, I do two times. This person here, person A, talks about something they don't like, something they dislike, something they could care less about. They have no passion, no interest. And I give them, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. Go. And they start talking. Guess what that conversation looks like, feels like, sounds like? You guessed it. There's no energy or low energy. There's no laughing. There's no eye contact. The person's looking down at the ground. There's no interest. It's just blah. It's gray. There's nothing there. Just like when someone's depressed. Then I have them switch. The person that was observing is now talking. The person that was talking now observing. Except this time, the topic is something that interests you, something you like, something you have passion about. Guess what that conversation looks like? You guessed it. Lots of energy, lots of interaction, lots of eye contact, even laughing. The volume's increased. It's really neat to see the difference within minutes. The same thing happens up here. We talk bad to ourselves, and our day becomes like that. Our week, our month, our year. If we talk good to ourselves in our head, same thing. Our day, our week, our month becomes good, positive. And the same thing, not just self-talk, but how we talk to other people, our children, our partner, our coworkers, our colleagues, our neighbors. Be careful how you talk to other people. You have to take care of the inside before you can take care of the outside. So mental wellness is very important. You have to take care of yourself, because if you don't, things will slip. It's a slippery slope. Number three is the thing I call social wellness. And why am I talking about social wellness? Well, right now it's huge. The coronavirus. What's happening? Lockdowns. Social distancing. Stay away from people. It's hard on us. Human beings, we are social beings. We need to socialize. We need to talk. We need to hang out. We need to be around other people. And right now it's becoming very problematic, very challenging because of the times. Okay? Which we have to practice safety. We have to be careful. I'm just saying it's difficult for people at the moment, especially at the moment with COVID. So, what is social wellness? Well, it's about building relationships. However, positive relationships. If you have a relationship with, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your colleagues, your neighbors, your community, your church, whatever it is, those relationships should be healthy, positive, loving, nurturing, meaningful, connecting. Those are positive relationships, positive social wellness. On the other hand, if you're in relationships that are negative, not meaningful, like you feel like you're being used, there's tension, there's negativity all the time, there might even be abuse and harm, those are negative relationships. Doesn't matter if it's with a friend, family, colleague, neighbor, the community, your church, wherever it may be, those are negative relationships, and you should remove yourself from them. Okay? So social wellness, social. It's okay to be social, but be careful who you're with. Having said that, here's another activity I do with my students, and I recommend you do the same. It's called your circle of 5. Did you know, folks, that the people that you hang around with the most, the top 5 people in your life, you slowly become? That's right, they influence you. So the top 5 people, especially those you choose to be around, maybe you can't decide to not be around your family, but the top 5 people you choose, you pick to be around, They influence who you become over time. So for example, if those top 5 people are negative people, always talking bad about people or about life, they're gossiping, they're energy drainers, they're energy vampires, over time you're going to become like that yourself. On the other hand, if those top 5 people around you are positive, laughing, joking, lucky-go-lucky type people, always energetic and always looking on the bright side of life, over time, you're going to become like that yourself, if you're not already. So be careful who you associate, who you hang around with, who you socialize with. We're talking about social wellness, folks. You need to be around people, but you need to be around the right people. In my opinion, it's better to be alone or to be 1 or 2 people than to be around a group that's negative. I'm from the East Coast, if you haven't noticed. I'm from Nova Scotia. And in Nova Scotia, there's lots of fishing. And part of that fishing is lobster fishing or crab fishing. Maybe not so much crab, but lobster fishing. And did you know that there's something called the crab effect? And that relates to social wellness. What's the crab effect? Well, crabs or lobsters, they go into a trap, they swim their way in or crawl their way in, and they can get back out, but they don't. The fisherman pulls up his trap or her trap, looks inside, and here we go, gonna have a good feast. How come that lobster or that crab didn't get itself out of that trap? Well, it probably tried to, but it couldn't. Because every time it tried to crawl out or swim out, the other ones would pull it back in. Pull it back in, pull it back in, so they're all in the trap together. Have you ever heard the expression, misery loves company? Well, it's true. It can be true with social wellness. Be careful who you hang around with, especially your top circle of 5. Find positive, motivating, leader-type people that are going to push you forward and challenge you forward in a good way. That's who you want to be around. Your circle of 5 should be positive. Okay? So that's social wellness. The next one, number 4, I call lifestyle wellness. Your lifestyle, how you live. You have a home environment, you have a workplace environment, and then you have your leisure time or your hobbies, let's say. Those 3 aspects of your life should be in balance. Remember, everything's in balance, folks. I don't mean 33%, 33%, 33%. I'm not saying exactly like that, but overall, they should be in balance. For example, you can't always be at home and never at work. You'll get fired. Just like you can't always be at work and never home because your wife, husband, children aren't going to like that. And you can't always be working in the garage on your hobbies, on your leisure time. You have to find balance between the 3. That's called lifestyle wellness. Your lifestyle, how you're living. Now, one important thing I want to bring up, and we're all here today, I want to bring up is your workplace environment. Your workplace environment. Okay? Wellness. When I talk about wellness, do you know, I'm sure you do, but let me bring it up anyway. Most of us work half of our lives, or most of us spend, half of our time at work. So half of our life is at work. If you live to be 100 years old, about 50 of that you spent at work. That's a lot of time, folks. And what does that mean when it comes to lifestyle wellness? Well, being at work half of your life greatly influences your wellness, good or bad. That's why you should choose a career, a job, a profession that energizes you, that gets you excited, gets you happy, gives you passion, okay? Now, I know, I'm realistic too. None of us go to work. I don't care what your job is. None of us go to work every single day feeling great about our jobs. There's times that we feel down, we feel like, you know what I mean. I'm talking about overall. Overall, you should feel passionate about your job, energized about your job. I tell my students all the time, I tell my children all the time, find a job that you're passionate about, that you love, that you like, that you enjoy. Don't chase the money, don't chase the title, don't chase all those things out there, prestige, because over time you're not going to like it, you're not going to enjoy it. Find something that you enjoy. Having said that, I want to ask you a question. How much control do you have at your workplace? How much control do you have at your workplace? Write it down. Write your answer down. How much control do you have in your workplace? I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, question was, or reflection was, how much control do you have at work? Now, I want to point this out. The reason I asked that about your lifestyle wellness is this. You can't control, I can't control, we can't control. You can't control what happens to you. But you can control how you respond to it. Big difference. Maybe you can't control what happens to you because there's so many outside factors and influences and elements that we can't control. But you can control how you respond to it. Okay? Now, basically in life, again, we're talking about wellness here. It's all about perspective. How you view things, how you see things, your mindset. Basically in life, we have two choices. I'm just trying to keep it black and white here. I know there's gray here, but basically we have two choices. Choice number one, which I don't recommend. Choice number one, you can continue being miserable, complaining, dislike everything, unhappy, throwing things around, angry with life, with work, with your kids, with your neighbors, with your friends, whatever. How's that going to make you feel over time and make them feel over time? Not very good. The second choice, which I highly recommend, is you can be happy, you can be energized, you can be positive, you can say good things, you can control the only thing that you can control. You. At the end of the day, the only thing that you can truly control is you. So control that person. Okay? If somebody says something to you that you didn't like, you could snap at them and call them, whatever you want to call them. Well, you can control yourself and handle it in a respectful, mature fashion. Same at work, at home, with your neighbors, anywhere you go. How do you want to control yourself? How do you want to have yourself perceived by others? Okay? So you can't always control what happens to you, but you can certainly control how you respond to it, how you respond to them. That's important because that will also affect your health. We're talking about wellness today. We're talking about balance. If you're always freaking out at something that's happened to you, that's going to affect your health. If you learn to let it go, especially in a positive way, that's going to positively affect your life. And that is important. Okay? Now, number 5, the last one I call spiritual wellness. Spiritual wellness. Now, deliberately, I did not call it religious wellness because I know there's people that are spiritual but not religious. And that's okay. I'm not pointing out anything here. I'm just talking about spiritual wellness. Now, to me, that could be your relationship with God. It could be your relationship with the spirit world. It could be your relationship with your creator, with Mother Nature. Whatever it means to you, that's perfectly fine. Okay? So, your spiritual wellness. I feel that when we think, when we're mindful, when we're aware of our spiritual wellness, that we are more connected to others. We're more compassionate with others. We have more forgiveness, more love, more to offer. And it gives us a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning in our life, which is very important. So you're wondering, well, how do I do that, Mike? That sounds great, but how do I do it? One way that works for me, and I'm sure will work for you, and all you can take is a minute. It doesn't take long, is meditation. Practice meditation, practice mindfulness, practice openness. Just practice being. Just practice being. Okay? When you do, you will open up. You'll be more aware of your surroundings. You'll feel more connected. You'll feel more compassion, love, and forgiveness towards others. But you'll also feel a sense of purpose, a sense of being. Why are you here? So practice meditation or mindfulness or awareness or openness. Okay? And we're going to do it right now. We're going to do it for 30 seconds. I'm just going to close my eyes right here on camera, do 30 seconds with you. I want you to do the same thing no matter where you are, except if you're driving. Please don't do it if you're driving. But practice 30 seconds of meditation or awareness or mindfulness. Okay? I'm going to count to myself so I don't disturb you. Just sit there and be. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's slowly all come back together now. So how did that feel? You feel tired? You feel like going to sleep? Did you sort of daydream, go off somewhere? Are you just pitch black inside your head? Whatever happened, that's okay. Sometimes we need to restart, refresh. Just like our computers, just like our phone. We shut them down, we turn them down. Restart. Sometimes we need the same thing. We live in a go, go, go society, especially with technology. It's go, go, go. Do more with less. Sometimes you need to recharge, refresh, start over. And I find that our spiritual wellness, our connecting, our compassion, our love, our forgiveness, our finding a sense of purpose, finding a sense of passion, a sense of why am I here? The bigger picture is what I'm getting at. Sometimes we need that meditation. We need that awareness. We need that moment or that time, my me time I call it, your you time where you're by yourself. Before the kids get up in the morning, you can do it. Before the kids get up in the morning, practice a few minutes. We did it for 30 seconds. Imagine how you feel if you did it for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. By the way, in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit awkward, a little bit weird, because we're not used to silence. We're not used to quietness. There's always something that's got to be going on. Part of that is distraction. We don't have to deal with our inner selves, our inner demons, our inner problems if we're busy, busy, busy. But stop being so busy and start being self-aware, self-mindful about how you feel, what you're truly thinking, what direction your life is going. Okay? Connect with others on a real level. So practice this meditation, this mindfulness every day if you can. Every couple of days. Start off slow. But like I said, do it in the morning before the kids get up. You can do it in the car on your way home. I mean, when you're parked. Before you go into the house, you just sit there and you meditate. You take the dog for a walk and you do it. Find your little special place, but do it for yourself. And it will help you towards others as well. Now, I talked about the 5 aspects of wellness. So in conclusion, hang in there, we're almost done. And I hope you learned lots already, but here is the finale. Here's the nugget, if you will. In conclusion, I talked about the wellness wheel because I believe that life is a circle, okay? It's a cycle. It's cyclical. That wheel, if you think of a car tire, or better yet, think of a bicycle tire because it has spokes. So there's that circle. And inside that bicycle tire, let's say there's 5 spokes. The 5 spokes that I just talked about. Wellness, health, mental, lifestyle, social, and spiritual wellness. So those 5 spokes are inside the wheel. Each spoke is one of those wellness components or elements that keeps that wheel going smoothly, softly, effectively, just like your bicycle. If one of those spokes isn't working, you can probably still move that bicycle. If 2 aren't working, maybe you can still go. It's a little bit rough, but maybe you can still move that bicycle. If 3 are down or 4 or 5, you're not going anywhere. It's called a flat tire. Your tire's done. Whether it's your car, your bicycle, you're not moving. You're going to have to repair it. You're going to have to deal with it. Unfortunately, in life, if you think about that, we wait till 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spokes are broken in our life before we deal with it, before we're forced to deal with it. Maybe you lost your job because you didn't deal with your wellness. Maybe you're divorced because you didn't deal with your wellness. Maybe you had a heart attack. Whatever those things that happened to you in your life, you were warned, just like I was. We just chose not to deal with it. Stop and deal with it. Health should be your priority. Health is wealth. Okay? I don't care how big your house is, how fast your boat or your car is, how beautiful your lawn looks, how much money's in your bank account. None of that matters if you're not healthy, if you're lying in the hospital on your deathbed. Health is wealth. Stop and deal with it. When those spokes are out of whack, when those components of the wellness wheel are out of whack, not working, stop and deal with it. Please, your health is important. Deal with it. So, all those spokes have to be strong in order for that wheel to work efficiently, effectively. Now, how does it? We have the wheel on the outside. We have 5 spokes in the middle. But what's in the middle? And if there's anything I want you to listen to today, it's this. What's in the middle of that wheel? That is your centerpiece. That is your why. Okay? That is what makes your heart sing. What makes your heart tick. Your why. Find out what's your why, and your wellness wheel will run a lot better. And if you don't know about it, don't worry. A lot of us don't, because we don't take time to think about it. We don't take time to reflect. I want you today, after this seminar, reflect on your why. Why are you here? What makes your heart sing? What makes you tick? What moves you on a daily basis? For example, my whys are my family, public speaking, writing books, podcasts, making videos to help educate, motivate, inspire, and empower others, and to leave this world a better place than the way I received it. Those are my 3 big whys. What are yours? Maybe they're the same. Maybe some are the same. Maybe they're completely different. That's okay. You are different than me, and that's okay because you're unique. But today we talked about health is wealth and basically the importance of a balanced lifestyle. Okay? So check in with yourself on your physical wellness. Check in with yourself on your mental wellness. Check in on yourself on your lifestyle wellness. Check in on yourself on your social wellness. And check in on yourself on your spiritual wellness. Those 5 spokes of life, or those 5 elements of life, should be in alignment. They should be balanced. If they're not, you're going to run into some trouble sooner or later. And I don't want that to happen to you. And to keep those 5 elements running smoothly, you need a centerpiece. You need your why. What makes your heart sing? What makes you tick? What is your why? Please reflect. Please practice meditation or awareness and find out what that is. Okay, folks, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this seminar. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the seminars. I hope you enjoyed this virtual convention as much as I did. But maybe more importantly, I hope that what I had to say today, you learned something from it. You can apply some of what I just said, but that it moved you, that it changed you. That's what I want. Change you for the good, change you for the better, change you for the positive. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. Remember, my name is Mike Pickles, and health is wealth. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.